Strive to take control of your life, be forward thinking and see possibilities. Optimistic is significantly lower heart disease than those who were pessimistic. Women who scored a highly cynical hostility were also more likely to develop coronary heart disease. Optimism is also associated with a higher quality of life and lower incidence of stroke, improved immune system function, better pain tolerance, and a longer survival in lung cancer patients. Accidents and preventative illness. Being sleep-deprived led to increased optimism and poor life choices. College students who were too optimistic had more binge drink behavior, and couples who gamblers were often rated as too optimistic. The bottom line, it is always best to balance optimism with the planning for and the preventing future trouble. We are not controlled by events or people, but by our perception of them. Perception is the way we, as individuals, interpret ourselves and the world around us. Our lives are at stake in the world, but perception occurs as our brain processes incoming information through our feeling filters. When our filters feel good, we translate information in a positive way. When our filters are angry or hostile, we perceive the world as negative toward us. Our perceptions on the outside world are based on our inner world. When we are feeling tired, for example, we are much more likely to be irritated by childish behavior that usually doesn't bother us. Our view of a situation has a greater impact on our lives than the situation itself. Our perceptions bear witness to our state of mind. As we think, so do we perceive. Therefore, in reality, we need to seek to change the outside world, but rather to change our inner world. A is the actual event, and B is how to interpret and perceive the event, and the C is how to react to the event. Other people events A can't make us do anything. It is our interpretation and perception, B, that causes our behavior. When we can't allow ourselves to look at the alternative and to challenge our initial negative perceptions, we've traveled a long way toward emotional health. It's no exaggeration to say that developing accurate, honest, and disciplined thinking can change our life. If you get rid of ends, practice gratitude, manage your perceptions, and follow these other strategies, you will see a decrease in worry, anxiety, anger, and negativity, and be on your way to feeling better fast. 1. Eliminate ants as they attack. 2. Stop monkey mind by paying attention to it. 3. Start every day with the phrase, "Today's not going to be a great day." 4. Record your moods and look for ways to increase gratitude. 5. Create optimism in those of reality to be resilient best. Each of these habits takes no more than a few minutes. They are anchored to something you do or think or feel, so that they are more likely to become automatic. Once you do the behaviors you want, find a way to make yourself feel good about them. Draw a happy face, pump your fist, or do whatever feels natural. Emotion helps the brain to remember. 1. When you feel, hit the floor first thing in the morning. I'll say to myself, "Today's going to be a great day." After the ant pops up, I will write down my negative thoughts and ask, "Is it true?" After I get home and I put away my keys, I will push play a meditation audio. Before I go to bed, I will count my blessings, listing at least 3. After I have negative thought, I will think of what went well that day. When I face a difficult situation, I will ask myself, what is there to be glad about in this situation? After breakfast, I will think of one person I appreciate, and I reach out and tell him or her in a quick text or note. Healing connections. A couple can have a stable and happy relationship over time. Truth is, everybody's going to hurt you. You just gotta find the ones worth suffering for. Oh my gosh. Good relationships keep us happier and happier, according to the 75-year longevity study from Harvard University. Positive social connections help us to live longer, while loneliness kills us early. Study 1.5 American is lonely, which means that it's a public health problem too. Another lesson from the study, being a positive, warm, satisfying relationship keeps our brains and the body healthy into older age, while being in a relationship filled with a conflict. It's associated with sickness and early death. Okay. Emotional crisis, panic attacks, depression, and obsessive behaviors are often triggered by the loss and threaten the loss of a relationship. Marital problems, affairs, domestic violence, breakups, all of these relationship problems prompt people to come and see us in clinics. Improving your social connections is one of the best ways to start to feel better fast and make it last. Unlike polar bears, humans require social interaction to stay healthy. Have a fundamental need to belong. That's just as essential as our need and food and water. People who are socially connected are happier and healthier, and they live longer. When your brain is healthy, you can perceive others more accurately, have good control over your emotions, and act in healthy ways that bring people close to you. Your brain allows you to read the social cues, listen, respond appropriately, deal with the conflict, set effective boundaries, act inclusively, and be attentive in moments of interactions. Understanding the neuroscience of relationships will give you an uncommon advantage. As you care for your brain, all life relationships are likely to improve. However, if the couple communicates respect and shared purpose and stops escalating in a civil way, the future looks much more positive. Enhancing interpersonal skill has a proven effect in reducing anxiety, depression, and stress, and in improving both the business success and marital satisfaction. R is a responsibility, empathy, listening and good communication skills, appropriate assertiveness for actual physical time, for inquiry and correcting negative thoughts, noticing what you like more than what you don't, grace and forgiveness. I have the power to improve how we communicate and act toward each other. I have influenced in my relationship that acts in a positive way. I am responsible for my behaviors and my interactions. I don't think it's all your fault, but I think you have contributed to your troubles more than you give yourself credit for. And if it's true that you contributed to your problems, then you can do things and change them. As long as you stay an innocent victim of others, there is nothing you can do to help yourself. Either way, I need to learn how to respond effectively to whatever situation I am in. Responsibility means you have the ability to respond in a positive, helpful way. Taking responsibility in relationships means continually asking yourself what you can do to make a relationship better. Okay, what can you do today to make your relationships better? You win more relationships. When you ask yourself this question and stay away from blaming others and increase the tendency to think always in terms of other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as your own, okay? Researchers have found that children with autism who often display social skill deficit have problems in their mirror neural system. This system is important to empathy. When it is healthy, we can experience the feelings of others. When the system works too hard, we can become too sensitive, which would make us terrible doctors or nurses, as we could be crying all the time in response to others' pain. When it does not work hard enough, we could hurt others and it wouldn't bother us. As is true with so many parts of the brain, the healthy system helps us most. Empathy helps us in a negative social environment and answer questions. The more accurately we can predict the actions and the needs of others, the better off we are. The ability to tune in and empathize with others is a prerequisite for understanding, attachment, bonding, and love, all of which are important for our survival. Insecurity to others or lack of empathy was cited more than any other flaw in a reason for derailment. Okay, balance is the key. Okay, always balance in moderation. Developing empathy involves a number of important skills, including mirroring, treating others in a way you would like to be treated, and being able to get out of yourself. The following 3 exercises are designed to help you increase your empathetic skills. Your ability to understand and communicate with others will be enhanced by learning what therapists call the mirroring technique. You can use this technique in any interpersonal situation to increase rapport. When you mirror someone, you assume or imitate his or her body language, posture, eye contact, and facial expression, and you use the same words and phrases in a conversation that other person uses. Poor communication is at the core of many relationship problems. Jumping to conclusions, try to read the mindset and needing to be right are only a few traits that doom communication. When people do not connect with each other in a meaningful way, their own minds take over the relationship and many imaginary problems arise. Too often in relationships, we have expectations and hopes that never explicitly communicate to our partners or colleagues. We assume they should know what they need and become disappointed when they don't accurately read our minds. Clear communication is essential if relationships are to be mutually satisfying. Okay. You arbitrarily predict what another person is thinking and react to imagined information. Mind reading is often just a projection of what you think. Even if the couples that have been married for 30 years, it's impossible for them to always be right about what is going on in the other person's head. Asking for clarification is essential to good communication. Having to be right. When a person is to be right in a conversation, there is no communication, only a debate. Needing to be right destroys effective communication. Needing to be right. 1. Have a good attitude and assume the other person wants your relationship to work as much as you do. Doing so can set the mood for a positive outcome. I call this having positive basic assumptions about the relationship. State what you need clearly and in a positive way. In most situations, being direct is best approach, but the way you ask is important. Decrease distractions. Tell me what you understood, I said. Be a good listener. I hear you say. You mean to say a golden standard of a good communication. Doing this allows you to check out when you heard before you respond. Monitor and follow up on your communication. It's very important not to give up. I hear you say. Is that what you meant? As you can see, these are two completely different conversations. One is demeaning and limits communication, while the other promotes communication and understanding. Active listening in a relationship increases its level of understanding and communication. And when people feel understood by you, they feel closer to you. Begin practicing this technique on at least 2 people every day for a week. See if it doesn't increase your communication abilities and thus your ability to learn from others. As we have seen, the way you communicate with others can help and hurt your relationships. Studies have shown that a technique called active and constructive communication can quickly strengthen your relationships and improve your mood. Active and constructive, giving both authentic and enthusiastic support. Active and constructive? Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. Tell me all about it. In healthy relationships, it's important to say what you mean. And that way, assertiveness and communication go hand in hand. Being assertive means that you express your thoughts and feelings in a firm, yet reasonable way, not allowing others to run over you emotionally, and not saying yes and when that's not what you mean. Assertiveness never equates with being mean or aggressive. Do not give in to the anger of others just because it makes you uncomfortable. Anxious people do this a lot. They are so anxious that they agree in order to avoid the tension. Unfortunately, doing this teaches others to bully you to get their way. We teach others how to treat us by what we allow in our lives. Being assertive in the face of another's anger doesn't mean you have to be angry back. But it does mean you don't agree with someone simply because you're uncomfortable. When you're feeling anxious over another person's anger, it is a good time to do the deep breathing techniques I taught you earlier. Take a 3 deep, slow breaths and really think about what your opinion is, then say it clearly without too much emotion. Say what you mean and stick up for what you believe is right. People will respect you more. People like others who are real, who say exactly what's on their mind. Maintaining self-control, being angry, mean, and aggressive is not being assertive. That's correct, definitely. You can be assertive in a calm and clear way. Be firm and kind if possible. Above all, be firm in your stance. Again, we teach other people how to treat us, so when they give into their temper tantrums, we actually teach them the way we control us. We need assert ourselves in a firm yet kind of way. Others have more respect for us and will treat us accordingly. Mother, that's correct, definitely. Absolutely be assertive only when it is necessary. If you assert yourself and all the time for unimportant issues, you will be perceived as controlling, which invites oppositional behavior. Relationships require actual physical time and willingness to listen. Special time, which involves spending 20 minutes a day doing something with your child that he or she wants to do. 20 minutes is not much time, but this exercise makes a huge difference in the quality of your relationships. I have one rule for this exercise: no comments, no questions, and no directions. It's not a time to try to resolve issues. It is just a time to be together and to do something your child wants to do. Look for ways to spend time with the people who are important to you. Think of this time as investment in the health of the relationship. 1. Smiled. 2. Made eye contact. 3. Identify themselves by name. 4. Let people know what they were doing and why. And then interaction by asking, is there anything else you need? These things were easy to do, and they indicated that the service providers were present and focused on the interaction at hand. Being present in the moment with your spouse, friend, or colleague can help make the other person feel appreciated and secure. Earlier in this book, we discussed eliminating the ends out of any negative thoughts that invade your mind. When you are suffering in a relationship, it's important to inquire into the thoughts that are making you suffer. Ask yourself what thoughts are repeatedly going through your mind, and then consider how accurate they might be. If you're fighting with your husband, for example, and you hear yourself thinking, "He never listens to me," write that down. Then ask yourself, it is true. Does he really never listen to you? Often, when you tell ourselves a little lies about other people, it puts unnecessary wedges between us and them. Relationships require accurate thinking in order to thrive. Whenever you feel sad, mad, and nervous in relationships, check your thoughts. If there are ants or lies, stomp them up. Noticing what you like a lot more than what you don't like is one of the secrets to having great relationships. Having attention to what you like encourages more of that behavior. I was evidently teaching him to be a little monster in order to get my attention. I started collecting penguins to remind myself to notice what I like about others more than what I do not like. I now have more than 2,000 penguins. What do you do when the important people in your life do not do what you want them to do? Do you criticize them and make them feel miserable? Or do you just pause and decide to notice what you like more than what you don't like? This is a critical point that's important for changing behavior. Focus on the behaviors you like more than the behaviors you don't. John Gottman, who discovered that the number of positive comments the negative ones significantly predicts marital satisfaction and the chances of staying together versus getting divorced. Keep in mind that balance is important. When comments are too positive, they lose their impact. Forgive others if we ourselves want to be forgiven. Forgiveness is powerful medicine. Holding on to grudges and hurts, even if they are small, increases the stress hormones that negatively impact our moods, immunity, and overall health. Giving grace and forgiveness can be hard, But when done properly, it can also be properly healing. Research is linked to forgiveness and mental health outcomes, such as reduced anxiety, depression, and major psychiatric disorders, and the reading habit fewer physical health symptoms and a lower mortality rates. I often tell my patients that the person who forgives also usually ends their argument. Grace and forgiveness do not mean letting someone off the hook and condoning bad behavior. They are not the same as justice, and I do not regret being reconciled with a person who has given offense and done harm. More often than not, a former victim of abuse should not reconcile with an abuser, especially if the abuser has not sought serious help. Grace and forgiveness are an act of strength, not weakness. The 8 keys we discuss in this chapter will improve almost any relationship. Being responsible and empathetic, listen. Being assertive, spending time inquiring into negative thoughts, noticing what you like and more than what you don't. And giving grace and forgiveness are the tools you can use today to bring those in your life closer to you. Yet, since your brain is involved in everything you do and everything you are, if it doesn't function right, you're likely to have significant problems relating to people you care about. I have come to realize that many relationships do not work because their brain misfires and it have nothing to do with the character, free will, or desire. Many relationships are sabotaged by factors beyond conscious or even unconscious control. Sometimes a little targeted brain intervention can make all the difference between love and hate. Staying together in divorce, effective problem solving, and prolonged litigation. Ask yourself, if you are taking responsibility in your relationships, how can you respond in a positive, helpful way? Practice empathy. Treat others as you would like to be treated. In conversations, listen and practice good communication skills. Be assertive. Say what you mean and stick up for what you believe is right in calm, clear, kind way. Spend time, remember an actual physical time with others are critical to healthy relationships. Inquire into negative thoughts that make us suffer in a relationship and decide if they're true. Notice what you like and the behavior of those around you more than you notice, and complain about what you don't like. Gift, altruistic gift of grace and forgiveness whenever you can. After we've had a fight with a loved one, I will take responsibility for my part and apology responsibility. When someone acts negatively toward me, I will ask myself, did I do anything to cause it? What is going on with this person? Empathy. When I'm in a conversation with someone, before responding with my input, I will reflect back what I heard him or her saying. Active listening. When I'm challenged or bullied, I'll state the case for what I believe, calmly and clearly, assertiveness. When I set aside time to be with my child, I will spend 20 minutes doing whatever he or she wants to do, with no agenda time. When I have negative thought about my spouse, such as he never listens to me, I will write it down and ask myself, is that true? If it is not, I will question the thought. When a friend does something annoying, I will turn my attention to the things I like about her rather than dwelling on annoying. Okay. Focusing on getting and keeping our brain healthy is most a loving choice you can make for yourself and others. I try to do right things for myself, not because I chew yuck, but because I love myself. In order for me to have the energy, mental clarity, and a good decision-making ability to be excellent, I need to have a brain and body that work at my peak. If I ignored my health, as so many Americans do, then I will make poor decisions, acting in less than half of a way and increase the risk of being a burden to my family rather than being the leader of my family. I see pursuing a good health as an ultimate act of love. In order to feel better fast and make it last, it is clear to develop consistent habits and rituals over a long period of time that help build resilience. That way, when crises come, as they do for all of us, you are considerably better able to deal with them because you have the mental horsepower you need. Yes, getting healthy takes some work, as any love relationship does, but it is worth it. When you really understand that getting healthy is about love, you stop saying things about getting healthy being hard, expensive, or boring, or about not wanting to deprive yourself. As I've seen many times throughout my career with my patients, being sick is hard, expensive, and boring, and you definitely deprive yourself of what you really want most, which is your health, energy, focus, happiness, and mental clarity. Ask anyone who had a serious illness. Your health is your greatest asset, and your greatest desire when it's gone. I love my 4 children, but honestly, I never want to have to live with them. I never want to be a burden to them, and I don't want them telling me what to eat and what to wear, or trying to take my driver's license away from me. If you love your independence, you must start taking care of your brain and body. When you model a brain-headed life, others in your life, such as your spouse, children, and co-workers, are likely to follow. Children do what you do, nor what you tell them to do. If you ignore your health, eat low-quality food, smoke, drink alcohol when stressed, or take medicines for chronic illnesses such as diabetes or hypertension, without changing your lifestyle, they are likely to follow your example. Ask yourself, am I modeling health or illness? In the United States, we value our freedom. We don't want anyone telling us what to do and how to live. I don't either, but ultimately, our behavior is not just about us. It is about generations of us.